record. Now, this is the assignment. We are to try as much as possible to model this PDF file. Now, I remember I said that you may not struggle, or maybe don't worry if you cannot achieve how this college essay is centered, right? Because we'll be going into CSS. Although I know that for some in this class, we have done CSS to that level, and they should be able to achieve it, right? But the aim of the assignment is to be able to organize the content to look close to what we have here, right? This is a container, right? This, you can see this border here and this one here. So it's a container in which the content resides in, right? So now, if I go to my code, I remember that I did exactly this in the last class. I purposely did this so that you can you will understand and try to adapt the class lesson to do this homework. But I'm still surprised that some could not do it, and and probably due to work or um, private and social activities, they could not find enough time to review the recordings. All right. But I will keep saying that you can listen to my lecture or to anybody's lecture 200 times in a day, if it's possible, without you putting your hands on, it will never stick. I can bet that with you because I've gone through that route. I'm talking from experience. Listen to different video tutorial and go and check your Google a tutorial. What is tutorial L? HELL, tutorial L. Google it and check the meaning. Tutorial L is just somebody who keeps listening to tutorial without practicing. That person will continue to be in the loop, constant loop of. Now, I'm not saying that listening to tutorial is bad. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is this: tutorial is just there in case you have forgotten some salient points. Yes, it's there to be referenced. It should be for reference purposes. It's not to be listened to every time without you practicing. No, it's not. That's not the purpose. So if I open my Visual Code, this is a file. I gave you this test. Yes, this is the test I gave, and I gave it without formatting. I did this formatting, then transfer it to my HTML. Now, let me close this tag first, this style tag. Now, if you look at what I did, let me run my code, live server. Now, this is what I'm saying. The moment I run that HTML file, live server, automatically it will open up a browser for it to load on or to load in, right? So you can see I did not open this tab. Automatically, this tab got opened because I right-clicked on my file and I said open with live server. So, and that is why this tab got opened. Now, This is what I was able to come to bring out. So now let me explain the code. Now, like I said in the last class, right? Um, the heading tags are there for hierarchical purpose, right? If I go to the PDF file, which is this, automatically I can see that this is my topic. Therefore, I can allocate an H1 tag for that. This other one is a subtopic to this. Automatically, I know that this is I can do H2. Now, these other ones, this, this, they are subtopic under this. So automatically I can do H3 for those ones. They should be on the same hierarchical level. It's just for semantic reason, right? Um, I'm not sure whether okay. I think there is a I can't remember now. Except I go back to my archive to see it. There's a way I can analyze this this my work, this one, right? There's a way I can do analysis on it on the web to check how ready it is for search engine to easily pick it up, right? So there's a way, but I can't remember the site now. There's a site where you can go to do that. Now, if I scroll to view the other content, you can see that all these they are all H3 until I get to essay. So this one now is still the same topic as this subtopic. This bullet point, they are just trying to give you an highlight what to expect in the main discussion here, right? So now I now did what? Gave this other one to the H2. H. Oh, why is it moving? Sorry. Where's my pencil again? Wow, it's gone. Okay, it's got moved. Okay. All right. So now I can give this H2, then again H3, H3, and so on and so forth. And these other ones, paragraph tag is a P tag, a P tag, right? So, and that is exactly what I did. Wow, let me clear my board. Where is the eraser again? Okay, good. So now if you go back to the IDE, now what I did, let me open up this one. You will see that I gave this H1, like I explained, then this H2. As I opened, I close, then I place the outline in ordered list. Why did I choose ordered? So that I can get the Roman figure or numbers, right? And inside this ordered list, you can see the ordered list got closed somewhere. Let me see where I closed it up. It got closed somewhere down there. No, it's not too, it shouldn't be too far. Where is it again? Okay, I can't easily find it there because probably because it's not indented. Now you from here I can easily see it here. See, God closed right here. Aha, you see. So line 127. So which simply means that everything, the outline, everything that has Roman number are all enclosed in an ordered list. So that is the take there. So now in each of these lists, you know, this is a list. This is a list. This is a list. So in each of those lists, I now nested this ordered list within the first list. Why? Because if you look at this bullet point, this is unordered list. It's nested within this first list. This, where's my pen again? So that you annotate for everyone to see. Now, this one is unordered list. This one on other list, and so on and so forth. So, and they are nested in each of these lists. This is a list, LI. This is another list. This is another list. And this UL, they are nested inside each of those lists. As you can see, let me clear my screen. As you can see in the code. Now, this first list under this ordered list is now you can see that the UL is nested right inside it. Any question? Any question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what's the question?
Sir, please, can you go to the browser? Yeah,
The,
yeah. The way it's aligned here.
the
How
way
did
it's
you get that?
aligned, you mean
Align, align, like
align?
the
Yes,
Roman, yeah, the Roman figure with the
yes, don't worry. Don't worry, I will explain.
okay,
Um,
okay.
I
So
didn't bother
I
you. It,
tried,
it is CSS, right? Although I will explain because I'm the one doing it, so I have to do it in a proper way. But that is not your expectation anyway. But I will explain it. So I'm still getting there. I'm
all
asking,
right.
is there any question on how this nested list is done? No
I
question.
don't have a question, sir.
Okay, what's the question?
No, I said I don't have a question.
Okay, you
Like I,
don't. Okay, you don't. Okay, thank you. All right. And that is the moral right?
yes, sir.
Okay, the same way you said last class anyway, you didn't have
Yeah, I
question.
understand it's now. Seen it
Ah,
now.
okay, hopefully. All right. So now the same way you Demola, let me repeat. You will understand. But if you do not do it, it will not be inculcated into you. I can assure you that. You need to do it. Do it. Get into action. Now, when I just like to use my anyway, I can only use my own experience, right? I cannot talk about somebody else, right? When I started this, if even up till now, at times I will get it mixed up, but by the time I run it on the browser and oh, there's something missing somewhere, I will go back to my code to correct it. And that is the beauty of it. You cannot break anything. Don't be afraid that you break anything. No, you can't break anything. It's a program. A program cannot destroy your laptop. It cannot. So if you try it and it's not working, you go back and make the changes. Yeah, the change or the changes, as the case might be. So now the same thing, the same concept, right? This concept that I applied here, right, is done for the next one. This is another list. And remember, this list is ordered list, and that is the second one. This second one here now. This is second list now. And inside, where's my pencil again? Come on now. Now this is the second list now. And inside this list, by the time I create this tag, right, I will now create another UL tag. Inside this UL tag now, I will now create these three lists: 1, 2, 3. L1, I will close it, the content. The second one, which is this one, I will close it after writing the content. This third one, I will create it, then close it as well, right? Then it is finished, yeah, right? So I will close this one. I will close this one. I will close that one. Then I'm through with this list here, which is this one. I will now close it here. That is it. So, and this list, this one, will now carry the Roman figure 2 by the side. And I used H3 to describe this revolutionizing communication. And that will go before the UL. That one comes in here. If you go to the code, you will see. You can let me clear the screen so you can see it properly. You can see it here. See the H3. That is it. Immediately after the first li. Then I created the UL with its own bullet points, right? Then I close this list here, this one here, right? That is the importance of indentation. Indentation makes you view your code properly, right? And excuse me, if you are using Visual Code, right? Maybe later I will explain how you can easily do this within a short time. There's an extension called I think I installed an extension, Prettier. Let me see, installed. You see an extension somewhere called than this one, Prettier Code for Formatter. I use that to format my my code. Okay, let me just quickly create one file. Let me call it index so that you will see what I'm talking about. Now, let's say I have this and I just created maybe, okay, let me just copy this so that just to make it faster for me. Let me copy everything here. Let me just copy everything here and paste in here. I'm just pasting. Are you seeing what I'm doing? Now, just look at how the code is, right? It's not organized, right? Now, for me to now start doing the formatting manually, it will take time. And that is the reason why IDE like this is important. I appreciate Sister Mary. She is still doing the traditional way, which is okay because she will kind of, the more she does it manually, the more she will understand it. That is why the notepad is very good. If you do it manually, yes, I totally agree and I understand that you are still trying to build your foundation. for me, I don't need to do that because I've gone past that level, right? Now, I can't be wasting my time now trying to format this. All I need to do is also highlight everything, go to the formatter. This is the formatter. I will explain this later. So once I click on this, you will see everything is formatted for me. I don't need to be doing those things manually. You can see it's already formatted, but that is by the side. Let me delete this one. I don't need it. It's also explained that you can easily achieve it within a very short short time. So let's go back to the code here. So now, having explained all this, right? You will observe that they are all on the same level. The subtopic, which is subtopic to this. This one is the main topic, H1. I am not applying any break tag. I'm not applying any bold. H1 already is bold by default. H2 also is bold by default. So I'm not applying any bold, right? And yet I see have where is it again? I see have what my desired goal. Now, if you now go on, right, you will see here that this topic, this subtopic is repeated here because all this list they are just outline. So for the reader to have some kind of high level preview of what is coming afterwards. So this is a subtopic. So you can see that I used H2 because they are on the same level. And of course, the content, I will use paragraph. Then the subtopic to this is H3 and so on. Then I have the paragraph for each of them like that, like so. And that is all. Right? Now let's now go after doing this, putting in place this structure, after putting in place the structure. So it comes to styling. Let me remove this styling so that you will see how everything is raw. If I remove this styling, let me highlight it, and I go, what did I press now? I press something. Okay. So, and I go to the browser, which is this. This is how everything is. Sister Mary, I think you were the one that asked that question on how I achieved it. So now listen carefully. Now, without me applying any style, this is how the structure is. You can see. You can see that I am not applying any break in between any of my of my um of my content. No, I don't need to do that. If you go down, you see you won't see any break tag. No, you won't. Is paragraph, right? The paragraph will get will form its own line automatically. So now, help me to achieve this goal, you can see that this I can see why is this moving? I can see that the content is inside this container, right? And that is the reason. Now I want to follow the thought, and it's a judgment call anyway, right? Um, anyone drawing, maybe an artist, um, two or more artists will never draw an object in the same manner. No, there will be some little nuances, no differences in their work. And that is the reason why plagiarism, they say you can, there's no way if you sit down and do your work by yourself, there will be difference. There is good, there is it's compulsory. It cannot be exactly the same thing. It cannot be. There will be some differences in your work. Now, because I can see that this is a container, right? So I now created this. That's the reason why I created this container here. You can see this container. It's a div, it's a div tag, and you will see that it's enclosing everything, everything. Look at just this is the line of the div tag. Just watch that thick white line down. You can see this is the closing tag in there. It's within the body, right? So I enclosed it in a container and I give it an ID of container, right?
Okay.
Yes. The reason why I gave it is just to give me a description of what I am doing. I can give it ID U,
I
but it
Okay.
doesn't make any sense. No, there's no semantic sense in it. So I need to give it an ID or class that is meaningful to my design, right? It is not compulsory to be container anyway, right? I might be maybe doing a job for maybe a school trying to build their portal, for example, and there's a section there that says that okay, this is accounting section. I can say okay, this container is accounting. You have to give it a name that will that will go along with what you are doing. I hope I'm clear enough. I hope that is taken. It is well understood. So now once I'm able to create this container, right? The next thing to do for me is now to give it a size because the width of this size, the width of my container from here, I'm talking from here, right, down to this other edge is not the same thing as, oh, sorry, it's not the same thing as my body, right? The body elements. The body we try to adapt to the viewports of your device. So I need to give this one its own size, and that prompted me just follow my thoughts because I'm not just doing something without having a reason for doing it. Something must prompt you to do it. Why are you doing it? You see, if you are taking an action, the next thing is that why am I taking this action? I want to travel from um, Bexley to Woolwich. Why am I traveling? Why am I going there? Something must have prompted you. Okay, I want to go get to Lucia Market. Why am I going there? I'm going to buy fruits, plum, and so on. Something is prompting you. There's a reason for every action, right? So try to understand why you are doing it. So if I go back to the code now and I come to, excuse me, the div.
Right.
Look at this div, right? Now let me uncomment my style, then I will comment the rest. I want to focus on one thing at a time. If this is only thing you are doing today, no problem. It's no problem. I don't have problem. The aim is that understand what you are doing. Now I'm going to comment this one too out because now I'm focusing on this div. Now, for so many joining, yes, I understand. Don't worry. This seems to be a daunting task, right? Right. But let me try and explain as much as possible. Oh wow, I closed my share. Sorry. Let me go back there. Okay. So I was trying to get the pencil out. Now focus on this div. Now in CSS, let me just quickly give a brief introduction to CSS. In CSS, the syntax of CSS is you must have a selector. Once you have a selector, what is this selector doing? Selector means to select something. What are you selecting? You are trying to select um, part of your document, part of your HTML document. That is what this one is doing. Now, you open a curly brace. Then you write your property, then you give it a value. Right? Then semicolon, you use semicolon to separate multiple property and value from each other. You can see this semicolon here, semicolon, and so on and so forth. Now, remember, CSS is cascading. I will explain this better when we start we will soon start in introduction to CSS, because there's no way you will talk about HTML without doing an introduction to CSS. So cascading, style, sheet, right? So that's the meaning of CSS, cascading style sheet. Now, having explained the syntax, you can see that this is now property and value. The property in this case is the width, then the value is the 50%. Right. Now, why am I giving this div width of 50%? Because I want it to kind of be able to adjust automatically. Now, if this the length of this, the breadth of this viewport, my desktop is, say, let me say, maybe let me just say maybe 1,000 pixels, for example. If I say 50%, 50% is now 500 pixels. So what I'm saying is that you div, make your own width 500 pixels, right? Based on the current viewport, the size of my screen. Now, if I go to the browser where this one, did I? Okay, yes. Now, if I try to shrink the size of my browser, right? Let's say, you will see that the size of the div also will decrease. Why? Because it's trying to adjust itself to 50%. The 50%, where's my pencil again? It's trying to adjust itself to the 50% of this screen, this entire screen, from here down there. This from here, this is the width of this screen now. So maybe, sorry about that, it's not up to that level. This place and this level. Now, maybe as I kind of reduce the size, maybe this is now, it's now 600 pixels. So if this is 600 pixels, automatically this one has reduced to 300 pixels. It's 50%. Now, having explained that one, so let me close this. So where's my code? Now, don't worry about this one. This one is just, you will see some level of shadow here. It's just a side face. I just put it myself. If you comment it out, if you remove it, let me just remove that one only, you will see that it's gone. You can see it's gone. It's just for me to have some border to it. That's all. I could have used border, but is too rigid. It's not will not give me what I was looking for actually. So let me just remove the comment to put that one back. That effect. But you can just ignore that one. Don't look at that. But when you get to CSS, we look at that fully. Now look at this margin. Why did I use this margin? The simple reason is that let me remove it so that you see what it does. If I remove auto, you will see that the div will go to the left hand side because that is the default position it should occupy, right? But what that margin auto is doing is this: is looking at the auto is looking at, okay, the size of this viewport, and it's saying, okay, the size is 1,000 pixel, for example, right? And the size of this one is 500 pixel because it's 50%. Now that means that there is now left and 500 pixels somewhere, which is this one unused. So what margin auto is doing is this: okay, this unused space, split it into two, which is 250 pixel, 250 pixel. So put 250 pixel on the left side of this and put the remaining 250 pixel on the right side of this div. If I go back to the code and I put in back the margin, you will see that that is exactly what happened. So now if I assume that the size of this screen, what was that? If I assume that the size of this screen is on 1,000 pixel, so and this one here is 500 pixel, 500. So from here to here is 250 pixel. From here to here is 250 pixel. So what that margin does is that it will create a margin here and create a margin here of equal length. It will now centralize that container in your browser. So margin auto is basically most of the time used to centralize a container to another container, right? Or any sectioning element. It's not necessary to be container. Don't let me use this container. Any sectioning element, right? That is what that is doing. So now, if you go back to the code, now what is padding doing? Let's remove it. Because if I do not remove it, you may not understand it. If I remove the padding there, let's go back to the browser. You can see that everything is to the left-hand side of the div of the container. It will fall to the left-hand side. Now to push this content off from here, I will use padding. Now, before I go further, let me check the time because I don't want, okay, we have less than 20 minutes, but say 50 minutes, I will round up. Now, every element, whether be it H1, paragraph, any elements, they are all in a rectangular box. Every element is a rectangular box. See every element as what? Rectangular box. I will show you. Let me demonstrate that to you. because I have an add-on somewhere that can easily show. Let me just create a file here for demonstration purposes .html, and I quickly have that. Say h1 tag, then just say hello. Now, if I run this, let me just copy this address, and I go to my other browser where I have the add-on. All right. So now this is that. Now, if I think I should have it here. Pesticide, yes. Now look at this. Now look at the outline, the border around it. You can see that there's this hello, this H1 tag starts from your left hand side to the far right hand side. It's occupying that space. Because of that, we call this a block level element. Now, let me repeat. We will get to that place anyway. This is a block level element because it's occupying the entire space in that particular line. Now, if I go back to the code, let's say I have a p tag here, a p tag, and I say my name is Joel, for example. I go back and I use that add-on to view the contents. You can see this you can see that this also expands, starts from the far left to the far right. But now I want to show you something. Let me put a span tag in between here. A span tag is always, for example, an inline element. My name is, let me just put this one to Mr., for example. So let's go back and put on the pesticide. Now look at that Mr. You can see that the Mr. is also in a rectangular box, but the only difference is that it's not extending from the far left to the far right, right? Unlike this block level elements. So what am I trying to say here is this. All elements, they are divided into two types. Block level elements and inline elements. Block level element occupies the entire width of the viewport, but inline element occupies only the space they need to contain the content here. If I increase this content of Mr., let's go back, you will see that the width, the size will increase. Let's go back. Let me just type gibberish in there. Just type some gibberish in there. Let's go back to the browser. You will see, after applying the pesticide, you will see, can you see the width has increased? You can see. So inline will always occupy the required size for its content. But block level, they don't care. If you like, give me one character, I will occupy the entire width, except you tell me to reduce. And that is the reason why in this one, I told the div to be 50% of the size of the viewport. Without that 50%, it will extend from the far left to the far right. It will occupy everywhere. I hope that is clear enough. So let's go back to the code now, where we are. So now, the padding now, the purpose of the padding is this. Now, you have your box. This is your element, right? Let me just use this as element. Now you have your content, say the hello. You have the content hello. It will start from this left and continue, right? Now, this is your element. What margin? Now, this element has border. This is border, right? You can all this rectangular line is border. Now, what margin is doing is that is creating, giving you space outside your elements. It will push, create space outside here, outside here, outside here, outside here. That is margin. Margin. But padding, we create space between this border and your content. It will create space between the border and your content. And that is why we have margin left, margin top, margin right, margin bottom. Same thing, we have padding top, padding left, padding bottom, and padding right. Right? So now, for me to now push the content, this content here, away from this border, I apply padding to push it away from the border so that the content will appear somewhere here. I apply padding. So if you go back to the code, you will see that that is the purpose of this padding. Now look at the browser before I put back the, where is it again? Yeah, this one. Now come on. Now you can see that everything is kind of crushing towards the left hand side of this container. If I put back the padding, it should push it away. You can see there's a padding of 40 pixels here, 40 pixels here, 40 pixels here, and down at the bottom also. Now, this one is saying that, okay, your content justify. Justify means, okay, justify means that, okay, whatever content you have, try to extend it try to extend it from where your content is starting to the end where it should stop. Try to fill in. It's like filling the space. If you look at the content down, you can see it will try to fill in that space from here to this because now I've applied 40 pixel padding here. I've applied 40 pixel padding here. That is why it's not pushing to the edge. If I remove the padding, let's go and remove the padding again so that you can see what I'm talking about. If I remove the padding now, let me just remove it. Go back. You will see it will push it to the edge. You can see it will push the content to the edge. Try to occupy all the space necessary. But by the time you pull back the padding, it will now kind of create that space of the margin on both sides. And that is how I achieved that one. Any question on what I've explained so far? Any question? Any question? No question. This is where, okay.
So I have a question.
All right.
What if
I can't hear you. You are breaking.
what if
What if what?
what's the what's the space between the paragraph 4
Which paragraph?
The space in line
Line what? Tell me the line.
line 37.
37. Okay, this one.
Yeah, is it actually useful to leave a space?
You mean this empty space here?
Yeah, is it useful?
No. It's not. I can delete it. It's not. It's just for formatting sake. That's all. It's for you to read your code better. You see all these spaces? I have explained it in the last class. It doesn't matter. The browser ignores all these spaces. Remember, it ignores it. So it doesn't matter. It's just for you to read your code better. That's all. Simple. Any other question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what's your question?
My question is about the margin and the auto margin.
The margin. What's your question about the margin?
I didn't really understand about how you created the margin and how you explain
What is the box model? I just explained now. What is a box? Because you need to understand the box first.
it.
What did I say about the box?
I didn't also really understand about the box as well.
I repeat, every element, what is element? Let's start from elements, because when I'm mentioning these jargons, element, tags, you need to understand what we are talking about. And we have gone past this. What is element?
Mm.
What is element? Can you tell me, if your friend in school is asking you what is an element, what are you going to tell him or her? That's the problem. If you are not able to explain something, you don't know it. You don't know it. Go back to previous videos to understand what element is, because it's time wasting to others if I'm going back to that one. Now, element is always in a box, which I just explained. Every element, I've demonstrated it with this example here, is always in a box. Margin creates space outside this box. That is margin. Padding creates space inside the box. Inside the box. That is all. It pushes the content. The content within this element, it pushes this content away from the border. Away from the border. That is what padding does. Margin pushes the element, this element, from away from any other element. Let's say there's an element here also. So margin pushes away this element, this particular element, away from this element. So it creates space there, creates space there, creates space there, creates space there. That is margin. All right. Let me clear the screen. Time is almost up. So I'm going to, I need to round up this class now. So now, this other one, this other ones, right? The H1 is just to center align, to center this essay, this college essay. It's just to make it to push it to the center, to the center. That is all. If I go back to the code, clear my screen, and remove the comment there. Sorry, undo. Let me just do it properly. If I comment, you go back to the code, you see it centralizes the college essay. just for me to have what is here, right? Now, if you go back to the code, now I explained this one in the last class. The list type, I changed to upper Roman because I want it to be Roman. By default, ordered list, by default, OL, which is ordered list, comes with 1, 2, and 3. Whereas unordered comes with bullet points, as like so. So for me to change this 1, 2, 3 to Roman figure, right? I need to format this to upper Roman. And that is the reason why I have that styling in there. Then I change the font weight to bold, because if I do not have that, let me just take it out. You will see the effect. It will not be bolded. So for me to have that bolded, now you can see that I have Roman figures, right? So give it that boldness, that bold nature, right? And that's that. And if I use this padding to, let me remove it, to push the what's it called, the list away from the border in a little way, and that is what that is doing. Then the disk, this one, remember, because it's nested, the default of nesting is what? Is circle. It will default to circle, this one. But I want it to be disk. So that is why I use this style on that, to have that disk form, so that it will look exactly as what I have in there. So let's go back to the code. There, I think that is all. Now, don't worry about this one, right? Because it's a long explanation on this. If I remove this, everything will be bolded. You can see everything, every list will be bolded. Just because I wanted this one, this very first list here, this very first one, I wanted it, just only that one, to be bolded, right? So, and that is why if you look at in here, you will see the bold, where is it? It's somewhere, this font weight. You can see this font weight. But I want all the lists under this UL, the list, this list within this UL tag, I want it to be normal. I don't want it to be bold, right? So that is why I have this styling. Don't worry, we will visit this when we are talking about CSS. So, and that is why everything looks in that format. Any question?
Sir,
I'm listening.
the last one you just explained,
This one?
why is it, yeah, the
Mhm.
less than sign, why is
Yes.
it there?
Like I said, I will explain later because time is gone. It's called child selector.
Okay.
It's a child selector. We treated it, Sister Lani can bear witness, we treated it in the past. But since we are going back, no problem. I don't want to jump the gun. So we will talk about it more later when we are when we get into the introduction of CSS. So close your eyes to this for now. right? So remind
Okay.
me, even if you don't remind me, we will get there. I will explain later. So any
All right.
question? Any question? Okay, no question. So now we are going to call it a day, right? And I want you, because this is what we should have done today. I want you before the next class, that is your assignment now, go and review links, right? Link tags, the anchor tags. Review anchor tags. Let me see. I think yeah, we stopped right at this description list. Yes, good. So revise the links. Go and read up the links. You can use the MDN. The is there online. Then read a little about semantics and the tables, images and tables, because that is what we are going to discuss in the next class. Tables. I want to, yes, this one. So read those three topics: links, the anchor tag, images, and tables. Read them up. Then we discuss on it next week. That's next week Tuesday now. All right. Any question before we close the class? Okay, no question. All right. Thank you so much. So
Thank you, sir.
we will see on Tuesday next week.
So
Yes.
you said that there's a thing that there's a